you aspiring to pursue your undergraduate studies in Japan on a fully funded scholarship? Moving ahead in this video, we will be making this video in two parts where we will cover the entire process of undergraduate applications for MEXT Scholarship. So we will be covering application process, documents required, eligibility criteria, scholarship period, what is direct placement and how you can apply for direct placement, what is the condition that you must fulfill to apply for direct placement. And in the second part of this video, we will also be covering the subjects that we should choose for if we are planning to take MEXT exam, and the time duration and the screening process of the exam, how to choose the field of study, the process after you have received the scholarship, and also some details about the accommodation. So all those later parts after the exam will be covered in the second part of this video, and today we will be focusing more on the application process and the documentation and few other areas of MEXT. So stay tuned till the end of this video. So let's talk about MEXT Scholarship, about what it is and what is the grant. So in brief, we have covered this many times, but MEXT is a fully funded scholarship and it is provided by the Japanese government, Ministry of Education in Japan. And the grant in this scholarship is approximately 1,17,000 yen. In Indian rupees, that is approximately 65,000 rupees per month. This amount has been is from the last year, so this amount can be revised, so please stay updated for the final notification. So this scholarship covers your tuition fee, it also covers your round trip fare. When I say airfare, it essentially means it covers the trip, one round trip, which means when you travel to Japan for the first time to join your course, and the ticket to come back to India when you complete your course. Let's look at the period of this scholarship. So the period of this scholarship is 5 years, which includes 1 year of preparation course of Japanese, and then you are placed in a university where you will be learning that course in Japanese. So that is the expectation. So in all, it will be 5 years. The next is the number of seats. So the number of seats in undergraduate are very limited. There are about 12 seats from across the country. So from entire India, there are only 12 seats. Eligibility. But how do you know whether or not you are eligible for this scholarship? So the age eligibility is 17 to 25 years. Basically, you need to complete 18 years by the time you enroll in a course in Japan. So at the time of application, you can be 17, but by the time you enroll and start your course in a university, you have to be 18. So if you are currently 17 while applying, it's alright. It will take 1 year of the process and you will be enrolling next year and you will be 18 then. There is, you have to complete your 12 years of education, that's mandatory, by the time of enrollment in a university. Minimum percentage is 65% in your 12th or 11th, but this percentage can be revised. So you have to check the latest guidelines as and when they come out. Preference could be given to students who already know Japanese. So the applications will be released very soon. They could release probably by mid-April or could be little sooner than that. So you can subscribe our channel to get regular updates regarding the applications. Now let's look at the documentation. Here I find so many queries about the documents every year, so I'm trying to cover it in detail in this video. So the number one document is your application form, the MEXT Scholarship application form. Now this form is of course provided by the MEXT, and it is in a given format that you can get from the Ministry of Japan website, Japanese Embassy website in India. So you have to get this application form from there. Second document would be your transcripts of your 9th, 10th, 11th and 12th grade. These should be attested copies. Third document is your certificate of graduation. If you have already cleared your 12th, in that case you can just provide your mark sheet which says that it is also a certificate, or otherwise you have to get it from your school stating the date of your graduation very clearly. The next document is your LOR, which can be written by any of your teachers or your principal. The format for LOR is given by the MEXT also. Next document is a medical certificate. This format is also provided by MEXT and it has to be submitted with all other documents. There are some other documents which are required on case-to-case basis. I will list down those documents as well. So one such document is direct placement preference form. Basically this is a form where you put down the preference of the universities which you want to join. The format is given by the MEXT. This form needs to be filled by only students who fulfill a certain criteria. We will be discussing more on that in some time in this video. The next one is certificate of enrollment. If you already have an enrollment in any university, you can provide that certificate along with other documents. EJU certificate, if you have cleared the entrance exam to Japanese universities, you can provide that along with other documents. Language proficiency certificate. So if you have appeared for JLPT or if you have appeared for English proficiency test, you can provide those certificates along with other documents in your application. So in all there are 9 documents, but 5 are mandatory and the other 4 are on case-to-case basis. So here was the list. You can also find this list in the description box in this video. Now let's talk about the submission of these documents. So essentially you have to submit 2 copies of these documents. One will be the original, which are hand-filled documents. You just make a pack of all these in one packet, and the other one which will be the photocopies of all these documents. Now let's look at direct placement. So the students should inquire about direct placement, which universities are available for direct placement before filling out the form. However, there is a process of direct placement which can save you 1 year. So direct placement is basically it means you can skip 1 year of preparation, language preparation, and directly start the university. But you can't do that unless you fulfill a criteria, and that is possible if only you are proficient in Japanese. So if you're already proficient, you of course don't need a language preparatory course. Second condition is if your undergraduate course doesn't require you to be proficient in Japanese, then you can skip this course. In case you are able to secure direct placement, of course you will be saving 1 year, and the period of the scholarship will be 4 years. Now of course all of us would want to apply for direct placement, but there are certain conditions, as I said. So there has to be a sufficient knowledge of Japanese and English, both the languages, right? For example, if you are proficient in one of the regional languages and Japanese, that will not work. You have to know English also, and you must be proficient too. Second is that this decision is made only after you have cleared all the rounds of screening. So in any which way you have to clear the document screening round, the examination, the interview, and then only you can start thinking about direct placement. The ultimate decision on the direct placement will be made by the MEXT, after discussing it with the university that you have put in the direct placement form. There are some universities which prefer to hold an interview or language exam before placing you directly in their university. So these are some of the conditions which have to be met if you are seeking a direct placement. So this is all for today's video. Next video will start from MEXT examination. So we will be discussing the field of study, which subjects to choose, what is usually covered in MEXT exams, what is the interview process, and so on and so forth. So stay tuned for our series on MEXT Scholarship, which is going to be coming up soon after this video as we follow. Thank you for watching the video. Stay tuned and like the video, subscribe the channel.